Hi everyone, this is Mr. Kara here. We are doing another screencast for you. We wanted to address a little bit more specifically remote learning. First of all, I want to thank everybody who did the survey that we sent out last week to sort of assess how people are doing and what their needs are. And it definitely became clear that for many students, sort of managing remote learning has some challenges. There are some of you who are really kind of getting into the groove and figuring it out independently, and others are sort of working through the bugs, and some of you are sort of really having a hard time managing. So we're hoping that the screencast will help you sort of prioritize or organize so that you can be successful. Because now you've had a full week of remote learning under your belt, and we'll be doing this for a while now. So we want to make sure that we give you some tools right away so that you can be successful. So first of all is communication. So just like at school, communication is super important. It can be a little bit trickier now that we're remote. How we do that looks a little bit different, but the importance doesn't change. So hopefully all of you are checking your email regularly. I know for many of you, email has not been a method of communication for you. And so I can't stress to you how important it is to be checking your school email on a regular basis. Same with Schoology. As you know, your teachers are using that as a platform for your learning. I'll also put in the plug for the counselors. We have a Schoology page for each of the classes. So if you haven't already done so, I would encourage you to log on and join our page. We have some resources already there, but that's a platform that will continue to include more resources as we move forward. Certainly team check-ins. Many of you have been meeting with teachers either as a class, as part of your entire class, but I would also encourage you to use that as a platform to connect with your teachers directly as you move forward, whether it be during flex time or during another time with your teachers. Also with academics support help. As with school, Math Lab is still up and running. Same with office hours. There are, and we'll put this in our Schoology page, but there are specific subject times in Math Lab that will be for either Algebra 2, Algebra 1, topics, and geometry. So those are specific times when the Math Lab is open for those subjects. So keep an eye out for that as well. And then, as you know, we're now moving to Fridays being reassessment, relearning time, and really time for you to get caught up. And hopefully after the screencast, some of these tools that we're going to talk about, you can really sort of evaluate how your week went, sort of wrap up any sort of loose ends so that you can start your weekend and feeling like you have some time to refresh and get ready for your next week.
So Ms. Sakura mentioned email as a way of communication, and that's something that we have been using quite a bit over the past week. And I would imagine most of you, similar to us, have had a real increase in the amount of email you're receiving on a daily basis, and that can be a little bit overwhelming. So one of the things that might be helpful is to kind of look at your email and try to manage that in a way that helps it stay organized and maybe kind of organize it according to the different things you need to do in your day. Using your inbox as a to-do list is a great way to do that. There's flag options to kind of keep emails at the top of the list to make sure that you address the things that are in the email. Often setting up folders for each class is helpful so that you don't have to weed through the entire inbox. You can focus on one class at a time. If there are emails you're receiving that you subscribe to, that you don't need or you don't want, you can unsubscribe for them, and that will help keep the email clutter to a minimum. Oftentimes we have appointments or team meetings that might come in your email that you need to keep track of, and one of the ways to do that is to use your Outlook calendar to help manage those meetings. You can accept the invite, it goes right into your calendar, and will remind you when that time comes. Also, you can put your deadlines for work into the calendar to set reminders in addition. And it's really important to set a time to go through your email where you're not distracted and where you're going to really be able to focus and kind of weed through the different messages that you're getting to make sure that you don't miss something. So setting a time in your day, whether it's during the office hours or the study period, maybe before or after school, just to kind of go through and make sure you didn't miss anything, is really helpful to kind of keep everything organized and to eliminate a little bit of that stress.
So just like when you're coming off summer break and starting a new school year, you had to establish a new normal and a new routine for the school year. So we were in school for 5 or so months, and now we've completely switched to remote learning. So pretty abruptly, you've probably found that things are not normal. Things are not, you can't keep the same routine today that you used to be able to keep yesterday. So if you haven't done so already, now is a great time to evaluate what has worked for you so far in remote learning, what has not worked, what should stay the same, and what might need improvement, and find that routine that works for you. Everyone's routine is different because you all have different schedules, but just like a couple of weeks ago when we started remote learning, now is a great time to even reevaluate that routine because we have changed the schedule a little bit. It's important to look at our 2-day rotating schedule now and how Monday through Thursday are teaching work days, and then Friday is more of a reassessment, relearning day, and to come up with that schedule that works for you. And it doesn't just include your school schedule, it includes your well-being, your physical wellness, your mental health, the daily activities you have to do. Everything you do, you still need to do, but you might be doing it at a different time, and even some of those fundamental things, believe it or not, you might forget to do. So it's important to make sure you're doing all the things you need to do that were helpful in maintaining your success as a student in school, to make sure that you can continue your success remotely. I joked with the other counselors that I forgot to brush my teeth several times on these days because the time of day that I normally do it has changed. So I had to put a reminder in my phone to brush my teeth until I found my new normal time. And those fundamental things that might fall off, and that's okay, but they fall, you pick them up. And so again, this slide is all about finding that new normal. What works for you? There is some suggested or ideal time that you should stick to, address certain classes, because we do have a schedule. The remote learning is supposed to be set up that if you can keep to the school schedule, that is optimal. But if you can't, find time that does work for you, and make sure you don't take any classes granted. Make sure you give each class an equal amount of time, and reach out to those teachers if you really can't stick to the time that is laid out for you in the schedule down at the bottom of the slide here. Find a workspace that works for you, and don't get upset if the one you tried needs to be changed. I'm constantly evaluating my workspace, and I have multiple places that work for one reason or another. You're going to have those. You need a pair of headphones so you can focus. Grab them. You need to go in a room you don't usually go into in your house. Do it. Whatever you need to do to make you successful. Keep reminders. If you have an iPhone, use the calendar. If you're on Android, use the Google Calendar to set reminders. Again, use all these tools at your disposal. And if you haven't used them before, now's a great opportunity to try to use them. All of you are eventually going to be leaving high school, and it's going to be expected of you that you manage all of your responsibilities on your own without somebody making sure you do it. So now is a great opportunity to give that a shot. And again, constantly evaluate. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't work, try something else. And the link here at the bottom is College Info Geek. He has a lot of helpful articles, and we found out a helpful YouTube channel too. And this article is a link to how to use your calendar effectively, not just to keep appointments, but to help establish that routine. So if you use the Outlook calendar, download the app, put it on your phone. If you use something else, use that, but check out that link as well. And then set goals for yourself. You might want to set some daily, sometimes you might even just be setting multiple goals a day, per day, or maybe you're setting goals for the week. What is it that you need and want to accomplish during this time of remote learning? And what are you going to do to get there? Write these goals down, put them on paper. That makes them real. If you put them on paper, those goals are real. You know what they are. They're not just floating out in space. They're real. They're on paper. So do that. And also, don't be afraid to share your goals with other people. The more you share your goals with people, the more there's sort of an accountability to meet those goals. Share those goals with your friends. Share them with your parents. And be prepared that somebody might ask you about your goals. And if you met them, then you can very happily report out that you met them. And if you didn't, that's okay. And you know, moving forward, when you set more goals, what's realistic, what's not, what you can do, what you can't do. It's really important right now to take accountability and to own everything that is expected of you right now from afar.
And of course, we're going to just remind everyone that self-care is going to play a very important role in what we're all going through right now. And so I think it's, you know, going back to setting those goals, it's helpful to kind of have that task list of what you need to accomplish for each of your classes each day. So therefore, you know when your day ends. And so when those daily goals are met, you should stop schoolwork for the day and get moving, get outside, clear your mind. Some students that I've talked with, again, kind of working on that routine. Again, if you're finding yourself, you're losing motivation and you just don't have the drive to get to that work, I say take a break, go outside, go for a walk, come back, hit restart, see where you're at in your day and pick up right where you left off. But definitely we need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're maintaining your social relationships while practicing social distancing. And so, you know, down below, we just posted a little visual of just, you know, do some daily check-in with yourself. You know, do you need to connect with friends for the day? Do you have to connect with teachers? What expectations of normal are you letting go for the day? Again, like all of our routines have kind of been disrupted. And we're all working daily to find what the new routine will be. And if something's not working, let it go. You know, and just find something that it is working and just kind of reevaluate, reassess, and start fresh the next day. Get outside, get your body moving. Again, maybe find a new activity that you have always wanted to find time to take part in, and now is the time to do that. But again, just, you know, kind of focus on the positives, find things to be grateful for each day, and really just make sure you're in a good spot moving forward. And some final words of advice from us. So mishaps will occur. Don't be too hard on yourself. Decide what you need to do differently. Make a plan for the next day. Again, every day we're starting fresh. And that's what I try to remind myself every time. I'm, you know, balancing getting my children to do their work, me getting my work done. We definitely have bumps every single day. And so we just kind of reevaluate, we kind of check in at night at dinner time and just see what, you know, what things that we're going to try to work on as a family the next day to make our day go a little bit smoother. For all of you out there, when in doubt, please reach out. Okay, your teachers, your counselors, administration, we are all here. We want to support and guide you through this new experience of remote learning. We are all learning as we go. So again, if you're not clear about something, certainly ask your teacher for clarification, and that might help other students that, you know, are struggling with asking for that clarification of something. So things might be changing. If you're feeling like things are changing day to day, it might be because it is, and your teacher's just trying something new and something that will work for everyone. So just remember, we're all going through this together. It's all new for all of us. You, your parents, teachers, counselors, friends. So definitely just make sure you're supporting each other through this. And we're all going to have our good days and our bads, but we just have to start fresh each day and hope for a good one.